Today, we celebrate our 125 plus 1 anniversary.
Praise the Lord, everybody. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Come on, choir, let's sing.
For 126 years, we find that the state of the church at St. Mark is strong and growing. Here is a look at all the wonderful things God has done through us in 2018. Celebrating God's grace. Clarifying the gospel, communicating the gospel, demonstrating the gospel, defending the gospel. Our entire ministry is immersed in efforts to be empowered for personal evangelism. We developed the Plus One cycle, a concise way for everyone to remember all the steps that make up sharing the gospel and inviting others to Christ and to St. Mark.
It is, I believe, the crown jewel of the New Testament because it answers the simple yet most significant question of our souls. How can I be made right with God? Evangelism is not an activity, it's a lifestyle. But there is a simple solution for the stains on our souls. What can wash away my sin? It's a simple solution. Nothing but the blood of Jesus. Now I'm justified. There is no record of my sin in heaven's book. And that happened by grace.
Being intentional about communicating the gospel is just one of the key components to our Plus One initiative introduced in April. Plus One speaks to our one true mission. We began by placing more than 350 names on the wall in the prayer garden, and members of our prayer ministry and congregation have been lifting those names to God, seeking their salvation. Our goal is for everyone to be more courageous in sharing the gospel.
Most of us will be honest and confess, maybe I don't feel like I know enough. And so we are simply designed to share what we know as we know it. We don't need to answer every question. We've got to share what we know and watch God work.
This commitment is called an ICAP commitment. ICAP commitment. The ICAP commitment is an acronym, and it represents an approach or a thought process when we're being committed to sharing the gospel.
We made it easy for everyone to remember these tips and more by posting them in the Plus One section of the St. Mark LR app and smark.org. The next step opens the door of the church in a new way. Welcoming our guests begins even before they enter the campus. We launched our Let Us Know You're Coming guest registration so that we can roll out the red carpet and plan for the arrival of our guests. And the St. Mark First Friends greet them at the door and walk them through a day in the life of the St. Mark experience, worshiping with them and answering any questions they may have. Now, our response to God's gift of grace is showing His love through good works. Because He loves us, we can love others. When we prepare to welcome guests with radical hospitality, we set the stage for God to move.
Because if we expect guests, if we prepare for guests, if we show up ready to receive guests, then we can expect God to show up when we expect guests to show up.
If you feel safe, your heart will open. Transformation only happens when your heart opens. Hospitality is one of the major platforms for transformation.
This focus on hospitality is not just for our leaders, but for the entire congregation. Dr. Willie Jolly, renowned motivational speaker, shared key insight on how everyone can be positive, encouraging, and welcoming to everyone we come in contact with.
Smile and say, we've been waiting for you all week. So glad you're here. You're amazed at how churches have grown by that simple statement.
We continue to demonstrate God's love through the Power to Get Wealth Job Fair, presented by CHI St. Vincent. And through Money Matters, powered by Arvest Bank. Another new initiative that helps us walk out our faith is the Push Offering. Thanks to all of you who are participating in the new Push Offering efforts. We raised $121,789.29 so far this year. Continue to push throughout the year so that we may continue to grow in our giving. We continue demonstrating the gospel by bringing back Vacation Bible School. New this year, we launched Fresh Kids Steps to Growth for Children to make sure they understand what their decision to accept Christ means and to help them grow as a new believer through St. Mark. Ultimately, we are looking for the unsaved and the unchurched and praying that God will use us to draw them to a real relationship with Him. He's never left me. And when our new believers choose to publicly acknowledge their decision to follow Christ, we celebrate. Including a baptism after party congratulating the new believers. Lives changed, souls saved, people connected. We are celebrating God's grace.